You don't want to hear in life or on his show. It's Donald Trump telling you you're fired.
Brian, tonight, you're fired.
Thank you. And tonight, The Apprentice, was that in my head? Returns with a all-star cast from The Celebrity Apprentice. Among those competing to raise money for their charities, you got Gene Simmons of Kiss, supermodel Carol Alt, and then you got Nadia and even Omarosa. They are back. She is back from The Apprentice.
And he is live from New York, Donald Trump. Good morning to you, sir.
And we have the great Lennox Lewis, and we have Tito Ortiz, the big champion ring boxer. You know, they put him in a cage, and he beats people up, and he's the champion. And we have amazing people on the show.
It's such a great idea. And so, are they going to go out on the streets and try to sell lemonade like some of the old things, or what?
Well, they do, and I understand through circumstance Brian was actually a victim, and they had no idea, and he had no idea what was happening. But
I was being harassed by a bunch of celebrities asking me for money.
Well, he was a sucker.
What planet am I on?
Well, they approached him. Well, you gave him $100.
Yeah.
Right? It's better. Isn't that better than giving them nothing?
But did they
you make a fortune.
Did they give
what
it
are they paying for the #1 rated show on cable? Do they pay big money?
I know I get a lot of money.
100 means nothing.
Yes.
Huh? These two don't get much. You get
exactly.
But what we want to know is, did Brian make the cut in the show? Do you know?
Well, the answer is I think so.
Oh.
If I would have known about it, I mean, I just learned about it this morning. I would have made sure he made the cut, but, you know, he doesn't call me.
You know, Donald, here's the amazing thing. You looked at your own show and you said, we made some mistakes. You didn't think the show belonged in Los Angeles, number one. Number two, you thought that Martha Stewart, the launch of the Martha Stewart show was just asinine and it was destructive to your franchise.
Well, that's true. The Martha thing was a total disaster, and, you know, it was very destructive. And the other thing, it became the #1 show on television, and then the season 2 did, like, unbelievable numbers also. And then they decided, the former people at NBC, they said, we're going to put this thing on all over the place. And they put it on 3 times, and Martha Stewart, and it was just too much. And then they moved it from Thursday night to Sunday night, and it's not a Sunday night show because we have a huge young audience of kids that want to be, wealthy like you people, right? And they watch the show, but they can't watch it Sunday night when the show ends at 11, from 10 to 11. Sunday night's a nice time, but it's not good for The Apprentice.
Sure.
So Ben Silverman, who's fantastic at NBC, he said, it was his first call to me. He said 2 things. I want to do Celebrity Apprentice, and I want to put it on at 9 o'clock, and we have unbelievable. It's the best we've done. It's the best show we've done, including #1.
Do you actually fire celebrities?
I fired their ass.
That's what people want to see, right?
I fire them like they're little dogs.
Who did you fire first?
I can't tell you because you'll see tonight.
We're gonna have to watch.
But I will tell you, it's the most exciting one we've ever done, and it's more vicious. And somebody said,
more vicious.
Is Omarosa as nice or as bad as she was? She's really worse. She's gotten meaner and angrier. So we've had a lot of fun.
Well, let me ask you about this. As we look at your lineup of celebrities here, all these celebrities have managers and agents and dog walkers and a support team, a posse. Are you separating the posse from the people?
They don't have them. I see Vinny on the screen, Vinny Pastori from Sopranos, and they don't have them anymore. They don't have their agents. They don't have their managers.
They're naked.
They have nothing. And the one thing I didn't know, would they really take a lot of nonsense from me? Would they respect me? Because you have to make people respect you one way or the other. Fear you or respect you, it doesn't matter.
Oh, come on.
And what happened is they had great respect. If they didn't, I would have. No, if they didn't, I wouldn't show it anyway.
Yeah. No more Celebrity Apprentice. Don't have the time.
But excuse me, I've got a cold down, but I understand.
You have a cold?
I do, I'm sorry.
Did I just destroy your reputation?
No, well, you did kiss me backstage, so you might now go home with a cold.
That's bad.
Yeah,
I wish you told me that.
However, they can call their managers for help, can't they?
They can't.
On the show?
They cannot even talk to them.
They can't? I thought that they could call them up.
They stay at my hotel. They stay at Trump International in Central Park West, and they have a really a nice day. One of the other things we do that's different is we put the winning team in a war room, we call it, and they watch the boardroom as people are being fired.
Oh, that's good.
And we've never done that. We used to give them rewards and all this nonsense, which really, frankly, people didn't want. The other thing we did is the boardroom's at least twice as long because everybody likes the boardroom by far the best. So the boardroom became much longer. So we really think we have this, based on all indications, we have a big winner here.
For the celebrities who are staying at your hotel at Central Park West, unlimited room service?
Unlimited room service, and if it gets too unlimited, we bill them.
Yeah, you got to do that.
In other words, it's unlimited the first hamburger. After that, we start billing.
Here's the other thing. You're already successful. Everyone knows you anyway. But what has the Apprentice franchise done for Donald Trump?
Well, I think I was very well known before I did it, and perhaps that's why it became so successful. But it certainly made me well known with kids. because, you know, that little 12-year-old group, because we have a huge young rating, as you know, maybe the highest on network television. So we have this high, and kids walk up to me, 8, 9, 10-year-old kids, and they say, you're fired, you're fired. They wouldn't have known. I would have missed that.
See, why
in all
aren't they
fairness, I
afraid?
would have missed
You've
that.
run the gamut now.
I've covered
gone
everything.
From toddlers to the elderly. I do want to ask you one thing, though. I'm sure you're going to be highly disappointed. Rosie O'Donnell was quoted yesterday as saying she won't be watching Celebrity Apprentice tonight.
You know, the sad part is she will be watching. And yeah, she will.
Why?
And a lot of people said, why don't you put her on? I said, because she'd be the first one fired, and everybody would know that. She's, you know, she's just a terrible person, but we know that. Don't we know that? Don't you know that, Gretchen?
She was found the most annoying celebrity yesterday.
Yeah, I don't get her. I don't get it. You know, I respect her for one thing. How does she stay alive? She fails at everything she does. How does she stay alive? It's amazing. But it'll all end someday. Someday she'll end.
Right.
And she was very disloyal to Barbara Walters. I like loyalty.
Yes, I
okay,
believe
hero
that's
loyal
But
people. She was very disloyal to Barbara Walters.
But Barbara Walters wasn't honest with you. I mean, you had these
Well, that's
conversations.
true. And Barbara
then-
has admitted that.
Are you two still friends?
Well, she wrote me a beautiful letter a couple of weeks ago. Really a beautiful letter, which is breaking news. You'll say, breaking news, Trump. But she really did. And yes, I would say we're friends, and I respect Barbara greatly. But she didn't really, she wasn't, let's say, forthcoming. Is that a nicer word than lie?
Yeah.
And it turned out that I was right.
Right.
Events have proved me right.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, see, the interesting thing is...
Breaking news.
I mean,
Barbara writes Trump a
you say it
letter.
like it is all the time. And,
Not all the time.
well, you don't?
Well, not all the time. You know, I went to the Wharton School of Finance. I was a great student and everything else. I can't say it all the time.
Sometimes you got to put on your game face.
It
No,
slips out
but
on
I do
television,
say
it slips
things
out.
because I enjoy it that way. I like being honest.
Right, and you are. Here's
Unlike a lot of your politicians that you cover every morning.
And Steve.
We want...
Yep, a brand new edition of Celebrity Apprentice kicks off tonight on NBC. Donald Trump still with us. Mr. Trump, we were in the green room, and you had an observation about something that happened this week in the presidential campaign.
Well, I just told you, Steve, that Huckabee was badly criticized for pulling back an ad that he would normally have to pay, you know, tens of millions of dollars for if he ran it as big as he was going to run it. And I thought it was genius. He announced that he wasn't going to put this really negative ad on Mitt Romney, who's a good guy. And he played the ad for the press. And all of you suckers are going like, and playing his whole ad for him. And then he got criticized for the press for pulling the ad. I thought it was like genius. He plays the ad for you. Everybody puts it on. And then he gets criticized for pulling the ad. It was great.
But his approach is so anti-Donald Trump. Donald, if you want to win something, you go against a friend of yours because it's business.
No, but
This
he
is
got
politics.
the ad for nothing.
Well, that's
in other words, what I'm saying is he put the ad on for nothing. He got the ad on. He said, I don't want to be negative. I'm not going to be negative. I'm a wonderful guy. Here's the ad I was going to put on. Everybody broadcast the ad, and then he didn't have to
Fox
pay
only
anything.
ran it
I thought it was great.
Hannity and Colmes and on Special Report. We didn't run it because we didn't want to fall into that. If we weren't going to be the
Well, I thought it was
people who
brilliant.
pushed the button.
And he was badly criticized for it, and he should be really commended.
And the interesting thing was that people said, oh, well, he's a rookie in politics, so this was a rookie mistake. And you're looking at it from the opposite point of view, that this was a brilliant move.
I thought it was great.
All right.
Would you ever run for president? Just out of curiosity.
Well, a lot of people wanted me to. A lot of people want me to. They have all sorts of websites and everything else, but I love what I'm doing. I love what I'm doing.
Huge
Come on, you want to be president.
No, but, you know, actually Mar-a-Lago is probably, maybe it would be a step down. I love the White House. I think the White House is the ultimate building.
Who's got the history?
Wouldn't you love living in the White House?
I got to ask you, I know you don't want to pick one of your friends for president, but economically, who makes you feel the best voting? When you go in the voting booth, who would make you feel the best for?
Well, they're all very different. Hillary wants to balance a budget, and I understand that. Rudy wants to give tax cuts, additional tax cuts, and I fully understand that. You know, we're the most taxed nation virtually in the world. We are really taxed. Now, we're spending billions and billions of dollars on a war that we shouldn't be in. Of course, you guys, Roger Ailes is going to be upset at me for saying that. But this nation is just going amok. We're trying to be the police station for every country in the world. And at some point, we're going to realize that we can no longer afford it. But we should just build up our military stronger and better than ever before. And by the way, I'm the worst hawk of all. Otherwise, I wouldn't be on Fox. I'm the worst hawk of all.
Right.
But we attacked the wrong people.
All right, we'll talk about that
He
another
still
time.
didn't say who he's voting for.
But we're going to be back in just a moment and wrap things up with Mr. Trump in just a moment. Well, we got to find out when the Celebrity Apprentice is on. We haven't given the time slot. When can we see it?
It's tonight. It's Thursday night at 9 o'clock, and for the next 14 weeks, and I think it's going to be really exciting.
And you get to fire famous rich people.
Very, very rich and very, very famous.